in my heart of hearts, I kind of knew he probably wouldn't fight again. He was saying how obsessed he was with becoming heavyweight champion of the world again. If you fail at the first hurdle, you go again. He knew from my side I was ready for a rematch, making it clear that if he wants to go again, we'll go again. With Klitschko, we weren't hearing too much, so I thought he was 50-50, but I had a feeling he might not fight again. It's a massive disappointment. It was probably even a disappointment for his management and his trainer, Jonathan Banks. Mayweather is still going strong. Klitschko still had a good fight in him. I'm sure he's still got a couple of other good fights in him. Klitschko had put his body through so many years of impact. I'd appreciate it if we just sat down as gentlemen and he gave me some experience he's learned over the years. So those are the words of Anthony Joshua talking about Vladimir Klitschko's retirement. He said he felt in his heart of hearts that Klitschko might not fight again because of the delay, because of the things I talked about, the fact that silence speaks volumes. When Klitschko signed to fight Tyson Fury in the rematch, when he exercised the rematch clause, it was almost immediate. After the Fury fight, it was just, what, a week or two? And he signed, he's like, yep, let's go. Full steam ahead. He didn't seem too concerned about going ahead with a Fury rematch. But, and this is why it's different when you get beat on points in a fight where you don't take much punishment to getting brutally knocked out and dropped several times as he was against Joshua. And even though he came a lot closer to winning the Joshua fight than he did to winning the Fury fight, he still didn't have to take the kind of punishment against Fury that he took against Joshua. So in his head, he thought, you know what? A Fury rematch is probably a fiddly fight, a fight where I'm going to have to let my hands go more, but it's not a tough fight. It's just a fiddly fight. Whereas Joshua is more likely to actually be a tough fight. A fight where I'm going to get hit and get hurt, maybe go down again, all that kind of stuff. Can I really put my body through that? I need to think about my health long term. These are probably the things that Vladimir Klitschko was thinking about and deliberating about, which is why it took so long, which is why Joshua says he thought Klitschko wouldn't fight again, and which is why I was always skeptical about whether the rematch would actually take place, because of the fact that he was taking so long to make his decision. As far as Klitschko sitting down with Joshua and offering him some advice, I have to imagine that would happen. Maybe not immediately, but at some stage maybe, because at the moment, I know Klitschko's being very magnanimous and whatnot in defeat, but he's a man with pride at the end of the day. I'm not sure he really wants to see Joshua face to face anytime soon. Maybe I'm wrong, but he's a man with pride. He got beat. He's had to walk away rather than take a rematch. So he probably don't want to see Joshua at this point in time. I don't know. But eventually, maybe a year or so down the line, maybe earlier than that, he'll step in and maybe talk to Joshua, maybe meet up with him and give him some advice. At the end of the day, if Joshua does well in his career, it reflects well on Vladimir. It's kind of the same as when Lennox Lewis beat Vitaly Klitschko. At the time, people were very critical of Lewis because he struggled in the fight. And he won the fight, legitimately, but he won it on cuts. It's not like he knocked the guy out. So people were very critical. And there are still some people today that are critical, but the way I look at it now is the Vitaly Klitschko win was one of Lewis's best wins. Because Vitaly Klitschko went on to be an all-time great. So that reflects very well on Lewis. The success that Vitaly had reflected very well on Lennox Lewis. It showed that Lewis wasn't struggling with just some young upstart. He was struggling with a future Hall of Famer. When Joe Calzaghe beat Bernard Hopkins, Calzaghe retired, Hopkins kept fighting, and Hopkins went on to achieve great things after that loss to Calzaghe. So that reflects very well on Calzaghe. I mean, even now, Canelo Alvarez, the better he does in his career, the better it reflects on Floyd Mayweather. So these are all things to consider if you're Vladimir Klitschko. So he might actually have a vested interest in making sure that Joshua is as successful as possible, because then it makes him look good. He didn't just lose to anyone. He lost to maybe, potentially, a Hall of Famer in the future. We'll find out. We'll see. So, and also, you know, he lost to a guy who he doesn't necessarily dislike as a human being. You know, he disliked Tyson Fury, but he don't dislike Anthony Joshua. So it's kind of different. Anyway, just some musings there for you people. Hopefully I've given you some food for thought. What's your take on it? On the things Joshua has said here? Drop it in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel. It's Hatman, I'm out.